To start off, let's go over the quarterbacks in this game. I'm loving the opportunity that Josh Allen has in this game, even though I expect for this to be a defensive battle. In 2021, the Rams allowed the 22nd most passing yards in a game, which bodes well for Allen. On the flip side, the Bills have allowed the least passing yards a game in 2021, which throws a huge red flag towards Matthew Stafford. I'm not thrilled to be starting either quarterback in this situation, but if you have Josh Allen or Matthew Stafford, the chances are you don't have anybody better as an option, so you're going to have to play him. I don't expect fireworks from either quarterback in week 1, just due to the talent of these two defenses. Even though Stafford was clear to play, the discomfort he was experiencing in his right elbow just a month ago could be concerning if he has a flare-up mid-game. Ranking the quarterbacks in this matchup, I have Josh Allen as a start at number 1 and Matthew Stafford as a sit at number 2. Even though I believe both quarterbacks will not have the easiest time scoring, Josh Allen should be able to move the ball more efficiently than Matthew Stafford, giving him more opportunities to be on the field. Also, Josh Allen's rushing ability gives him a clear advantage and a safe floor in Thursday's matchup. Next, let's move on to the running backs in this matchup. And just to be clear, I wouldn't feel confident in any of these running backs in this game, but if someone's going to find success, it would be Cam Akers. The Bills' amazing defense was in the middle of the pack in fantasy points per game last season against the running back, which still gives room for an okay fantasy day. Look for the Rams to try to establish the run against the number 1 defense in the league in 2021. As for Devin Singletary and James Cook, there's no way that I can recommend you starting either of these guys in week 1. To start, they're playing one of the best run defenses in the NFL, who added Bobby Wagner in the offseason. Secondly, we don't know how the reps are going to be split between the two. Cook may come in and steal some third down work from Singletary, which would cap both of their productions. Ranking the running backs in this matchup, I'd say Cam Akers is a start at number 1, Devin Singletary is a sit at number 2, and James Cook is a sit at number 3. I didn't rank Darrell Henderson here because I don't really think that he's going to be on the field enough to make a fantasy impact. He'll have a couple plays here or there, but he shouldn't even really be in a flex consideration for you. Now let's move on to the wide receivers in this matchup. We will start this conversation out with the number 1 wide receiver from last year in Cooper Kupp. He will be going against the number 1 defense against wide receivers in 2021. But even with that said, I always stand by the start your studs type of motto. There's no way Cooper Kupp should be sat no matter who he's playing. Kupp will still have a good fantasy day even with him going up a stud pass defense. I would, however, try to get away from playing Allen Robinson or Van Jefferson. On the flip side, there should be plenty of production from the Bills wide receivers with Stephon Diggs and Gabriel Davis. The Rams gave up the 10th most fantasy points to wide receivers last season, and this should develop into some nice games for Diggs and Davis. Ranking the wide receivers in this matchup, I'd say Cooper Kupp is the start at number 1, Stephon Diggs a start at number 2, Gabriel Davis is a start at number 3, Allen Robinson is a sit at number 4, and Van Jefferson is a sit at number 5. If you're looking for fantasy production in this game as a whole, the wide receivers should be able to produce for you in this matchup. Lastly, let's look at the tight ends in this matchup. In 2021, both of these teams allowed less than 7 points per game to the tight end position, which landed them in the elite categories within the NFL. Neither Dawson Knox or Tyler Higbee is solid fantasy producers this season, in my opinion. Neither tight end should be fantasy relevant here, as both defenses should be able to clamp up these average tight ends. I'd clearly stay away in week 1. Ranking the tight ends in this matchup, I'd say Dawson Knox is a sit at number 1 and Tyler Higbee is a sit at number 2. The best case scenario is that one of these guys will be able to pull down a touchdown for your lineup.